From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Keith Allen and proudly welcoming you to this Thursday's edition of For the People on this April 27th, 2017. And even though Obama has been out of office for less than 100 days, he is he's looking out after himself, and, you know, that's what presidents do. Now, when you're a president, people remember you for the words that you've said and your accomplishments, and he's looking forward to his library that he's going to be built in Chicago. I am personally not making any plans anytime soon because personally I don't think I'm going to see anything of crowning achievement there in his library. Honest to goodness. I think I would rather visit Jimmy Carter's library in Georgia to see maybe a few more accomplishments there. But who knows? I could be wrong. Now, why Obama? Why am I talking about Obama? Well, because of the fact he ran on a platform that it was the fat cats of Wall Street that were screwing us up. It was the fat cats that were taking advantage of us, the bankers. All of these people were really bad. And he's agreed to get paid $400,000 for a Cantor speech, which officially makes him Wall Street's newest fat cat himself. But let's remember what actually Obama said back in 2009. Here's Obama.
I did not run for office to be helping out a bunch of fat cat bankers on Wall Street. The only ones that are going to be paying out these fat bonuses are the ones that have now paid back that TARP money. And
do you think that's why they paid it back so quickly?
I think in some cases that was a motivation, which I think tells me that the people on Wall Street still don't get it. They don't get it. They're still puzzled. Why is it that people are mad at the banks? Well, let's see. You guys are drawing down $10-20 million bonuses after America went through the worst economic year that it's gone through in decades. And you guys caused the problem. And we got 10% unemployment. Why do you think people might be a little frustrated?
All right, give me a break. Please don't feel too bad about Barack Hussein Obama, okay? Lives on Embassy Row in Washington, D.C. Do you know where that is? You should look it up. It's where all the embassies are and nice restaurants. Very coveted piece of real estate in Washington, D.C. I used to live in Alexandria, Virginia, and used to be in and out of Washington, D.C. for a while, and got to know that fine piece of real estate for a while, and I know it very well, and I know that it costs a lot of money to live there, okay? But $400,000, it's a nice chunk of change, and people are talking about this. A lot of the business networks are talking about this because Obama has agreed to speak at a Wall Street conference run by Cantor Fitzgerald. The LP senior people at the firm confirmed that his speaking fee will be $400,000. That's a lot of money. I don't know about you, but $400,000, you could do a lot of useful things with that money. A lot of useful things. Maybe try to curb the gang violence and the murder rate in Chicago. That would be a beautiful thing, wouldn't it? Just to start on where Obama came from the Windy City, don't you think that would be put to really good use? But he's not going to do it. He'd rather cozy up with these fat cats to ensure that he has a rather cozy retirement. But it's talking at both sides of his mouth altogether. By the way, we dug a little bit deeper, same year in 2009, but kind of elaborates a little bit more and kind of pukes on himself once again.
One point I want to make is that all of us are going to have responsibilities to get this economy moving again. And when I saw an article today indicating that Wall Street bankers had given themselves $20 billion worth of bonuses, the same amount of bonuses as they gave themselves in 2004, at a time when most of these institutions were teetering on collapse and they are asking for taxpayers to help sustain them, and when taxpayers find themselves in the difficult position that if they don't provide help, that the entire system could come down on top of our heads, that is the height of irresponsibility. It is shameful. And part of what we're going to need is for the folks on Wall Street who are asking for help to show some restraint and show some discipline and show some sense of responsibility. You know, the American people understand that we've got a big hole that we've got to dig ourselves out of, but they don't like the idea that people are digging a bigger hole even as they're being asked to fill it up. And so, you know, we're going to be having conversations as this process moves forward directly with these folks on Wall Street.
Yeah, and, well, he's going to be addressing them as spokesman for the former president. He didn't return a call to us for comment, but a spokeswoman for Cantor said that the firm is not in a position to comment just yet, but would not deny that Obama has agreed to speak to the firm and for the $400,000 fee. All right, well, you know, it must be nice to be able to make, and that's more money, by the way. What, Hillary Clinton would do it for $200,000? So $400,000, not a bad fee, and to cozy up to the banks for those that have given themselves all those big raises, flying on those jet planes, doing all those things. I think he enjoyed it. Well, they asked what he would miss most being president, and he said it was the Air Force One service. All the bells and whistles, I'm sure. 8 years of that. 8 years. You get used to it, I guess. You get used to a certain quality of lifestyle, and it's hard to go back. Hard to go back to meager dwellings. What would you do with $400,000? It's a lot of money, folks. It's a lot of money. What he'll be able to use this money for is to further his causes and try to run this country further into the ground and try to get the leftists immobilized and ready to go as fast as they possibly can to gear up to try to take the White House again, the House, the Senate, everything, and try to bring us to a totalitarian, type of totalitarian state, country, with a bunch of fascist snowflakes running it. And California is a prime example. And then these federal activist judges, who Obama's just loves them, long time. Of course, Trump, we're going to talk about that in just a second, trying to do something about all of that. But I wanted you to hear from his own mouth just to remember some of the things that he said. But it's such a double standard. But that's the left for you. That's the left. And very transparent still about it. But he, we've heard this before. A lot of people have very short attention spans. They don't remember this. And they don't care. Oh, good for him. Well, it's okay. It's okay. It's Obama. The mainstream media gave him a pass, continues to give him a pass. They're not saying anything about it. Good for him. Good for him. But they're not going to be running those sound clips. The only one's going to be able to do it is us and some other conservative radio shows that would go ahead and play it for you. But, it just goes to show you the amazing hypocrisy that's out there, folks. And it does boil my blood. It does upset me. But again, that's a nice chunk of change to give to a guy who definitely gives a good speech when he gets up there. God knows what he's going to say. Hope and change. Thanks for the $400,000. Give yourself another raise. I'm not upset. You don't think that they remember what he had said? I mean, again, they remember. They know what he said. Yes, they helped bail out the banks big time, so maybe this is a favor. Maybe this is what they think that they have to do to Obama. Of course, yeah, it's payback time for all the kickbacks and all the things that he did to allow those banks to be able to do what they did to give the raises, but he didn't do anything to stop it, did he? It was just lip service, but didn't go after him. Come on. Money's good. When you're making money, money's good, isn't it? And man, it's good to be President Barack Obama. $400,000 speeches. And more to come, I'm sure. My point to the left, if everybody's kind of listening to the whole thing and the audio doesn't make any sense to you, if you're really honest to goodness in your core belief system, believing that what he had said, and that's really what he believed, he wouldn't be doing this. He wouldn't be doing this whatsoever at all, because if he believed that they were indeed, in fact, the problem, he would have turned him down. But he's asking for this. We'll just pay you $400,000. And Obama says, oh, no, just pay me $100,000. I don't need that much. I mean, that's ridiculous. Please. Give it to a worthwhile cause. Let's fight more crime in Chicago. Let's do something with it. You think he's going to do that? Let's do half to eradicate some poverty in some of the inner cities. Let's try to do that. No, not a chance. By the way, yesterday, and occasionally I make mistakes on the broadcast, and the one I had said that there was signed legislation yesterday with the antiquities, with the national parks, with federal land and all that other stuff. It was an executive order. I heard myself on one of the stations, and I said, oops, I make mistakes. But yes, it was an executive order, and it was the same executive order that Obama made to really screw up a lot of the land here. So anyways, yes, Keith Allen occasionally makes mistakes. By the way, the raffle, we are still raffling off the For the People news reporter from 1992 to 93. We extended the raffle time, so next week we're going to be raffling it off. So you still have the weekend to be able to sign up for it at forthepeopleshow.com, and then we'll be calling out the winner next week on For the People. I can't wait to do it. It's going to be very exciting, but this will help us propel us forward this summer when we're expanding, getting out there to more stations. That's the idea, is to tell more people about it, advertise. Our affiliate relations guy, Dennis Daly, you may have heard of him. He's a big shot radio guy. He's quasi-retired, still does news for the network that syndicates our radio broadcast, but we have to raise money. It's something that nonprofits do. I mean, NPR does it. Christian radio stations do it. We're doing it because nowhere can you have this much freedom to be able to pontificate, say what you want, not offend any sponsors. Luckily, our sponsor, 123 Ready TV, likes what we do, and that's why they go ahead and provide us the opportunity to make a few cents off each sale, which brings me to the very point. If you've not downloaded your version of 123 Ready TV, you're missing a whole lot of opportunities in watching some of the latest movies that are in the movie theaters or just left the theaters and can be yours. You don't have to go down to Redbox. You don't have to go down or pay for HBO or anything like that, or even cable, because all this stuff already exists on the internet. I mean, all of it. But where to find it? That's where this app comes in, 123 Ready TV at forthepeopleshow.com. 123 Ready TV, you click on it for movies. There's a tab. Then you click on it for TV shows. There's another tab. And it opens up a whole world just waiting for you to watch without commercial interruption. How much do you save for all of that? $19.95. $19.95 one time. Not a monthly charge, one-time charge. Introductory offer of $19.95. Download your version. Start enjoying all the latest movies, classics too, and the